What is up, best ones worldwide? It's the best one, Donnie here, back with a brand new Wrestling Classic 4 haul. 3 months later, I can't believe I have not recorded this video in 3 months, but we're finally getting to it. Better late than never. If you're not a best one yet already, and you're into wrestling figures, Funko Pops, Nickelodeon, late 90s, early 2000s, or basketball, and you want to watch me rebuild my collection, recommend you to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications, because of course you already know, the grind is real. And before we get into all the cool things that I picked up, if you want to check out the vlog, it's out on the We Are Wrestling channel, including a Blitzkrieg Pro show as well, so pretty much it's a 2-in-1 vlog, which I highly recommend you guys check because my boy, he got to drink with the Sandman, which was pretty cool, and there is some pretty cool Wrestling Classic footage that we did get at the event that you're not going to see in this video because I'm going to show you guys all the cool things that I picked up. It's a haul video, so with that being said, let's get the grind is real. So, starting things off, speaking of the Sandman, I saw this at the Classic, and I figured, why not pick it up? We got a Micro Brawler Sandman, which is pretty cool. He's got, like, the blood right in the top of his head there with the Kendall stick. Really freaking cool. I never thought in a million years I would be collecting Micro Brawlers, because when they first came out, I just wasn't a fan of it. But now, like, with the studio, I'm hanging these up on the stairway, which, like, when you come down the stairs, you can see all the Micro Brawlers, which I think are really freaking cool, like the way I have it displayed. Fits perfect, but I didn't get the Sandman for that. The reason I picked this up was because I do want to make a little diorama, or I want to, like, make something, because I do have the can that Sandman poured the beer on my buddy, who's my co-host on the We Are Wrestling podcast, Ben, and I want to put this Micro Brawler with a picture of that, and I want to make, like, a little cool thing for eventually when we expand the studio, when we have our watch-along room. I want to have that right on the backdrop, so I think the Sandman's going to look really freaking cool with the idea that I have going on. But there it is, man. We got the Sandman, which looks so freaking cool. And moving on now to some Lucy's. We have that Jack Pacific itch, Ruthless Aggression. I love getting a lot of the miscellaneous guys, and the first one we got that immediately caught my eye was the Masterpiece, Chris Masters. I really loved the character back in the day, and I think this is just a great Ruthless Aggression figure here, which, man, I think the head sculpt with Jack Pacific, it's always either a hit or a miss, and in this case, I think that they got the Masterpiece's head sculpt looking really freaking good. He's got the short hair with sticking up in the front, usually my regular hairstyle that I normally do. I love the smirk on his face, and I love the torso and the arm choice that they decided to go with. You can see the veins on the chest, which I think is a really cool addition. I love the way that it poses, even though it doesn't have the best articulation, the Jacks, compared to what we have nowadays. I think it poses really good. I love the red tights that we do get. We get the Masterpiece logo on the front there with the muscles, which look cool. And then on the back, we get the C and the M, which represents Chris Masters, which I think will just look so freaking cool. And then he's got the nice, like, maroon red knee pads as well that goes with the tights. And then he even has the kick pads with the M on it, which I think this is a really good Jack Pacific figure. I enjoyed his deluxe one a lot more when I was a kid, but I'm not really collecting the deluxe ones. I just want the standard. And I really would love if Mattel can make a Chris Masters. I feel like that'd be so freaking cool. Which, guys, I also want to give you a heads up. There's going to be a lot of Jakks Pacific videos coming out within the next couple of weeks that you're not going to want to miss. I have that Jakks Pacific itch right now, so there's going to be a lot of classic figure reviews coming to the channel. Moving on now to our next loose figure we have here. We have Umaga's manager, Hermana Estrada, which I thought this was a really cool find here. Great conditioned figure. And Hermana Estrada, he was Umaga's manager during his run in WWE. I think that he's very underrated. Plus, he had like a short stint in ECW, the WWE version of it. So I thought that this is cool. The only thing I think that's missing is the fedora hat. But I'm sure I could definitely find one for cheap somewhere. But this Hermana Estrada, I believe this is one of his, I think he has a deluxe figure and this, and that's it. So with this Hermana Estrada, I really do like the slick black hair going on. Does look good. He's also got the crazy look to him. The goatee looks great. The likeness is definitely there. And I always enjoyed the Jakks Pacific suits, even though they definitely overused that mold. He has the black jacket going on with like this very light purple button up going on, which does look decent. And then, of course, he does have the nice suit pants going on as well. Which, man, I gotta say, it's cool to have an Hermana Estrada. It would've been really cool if we ever got, like, a Mattel one. But I don't think that's gonna happen. So now I gotta find, like, an original Umaga to put this figure with. Unless I'm just gonna skip out on a Ruthless Umaga. Let me know if I should get Umaga or not. Moving on now to the next Lucy we got. We have Trevor Murdoch, which... former NWA champion. I know he's doing stuff for Billy Corgan's NWA right now, which I think is really cool. But he was in WWE back in the Ruthless Aggression era. Former WWE Raw Tag Team Champion, which is pretty cool. And I remember getting this back in the day. But with this Trevor Murdoch here, I think the head sculpt does look really good. I love the wet hair they have. The sideburns. He has that like Harley Race look to him, which is so cool. And I love the rubber vest that we do get here. I think that Jakks did really good with like the hard goods rather than the soft goods. We get this pattern going on in the front of the vest, and then on the back we get the plain white. And then we also do get these plain black trunks, but on the back of them it says Cade and Murdoch, which I think is pretty cool. And then of course he also has the shoes. Which, the only critique I have is, like, even with, like, the bigger wrestlers, like Trevor Murdoch, they still have abs, which is not realistic. That's, like, one of my critiques with the Jakks back in the day, but they still are just so nostalgia to me. Like, a lot of people in the wrestling figure community, they collect the Hasbros, they collect the LJNs. Me, I grew up on these right here. These and the Bone Crunchers. That's my cup and tea. But there it is. We got Trevor Murdoch here, looking pretty good. And, of course, with Trevor Murdoch, we had to get his tag partner, Lance Cade. Rest in peace. Very young, passed away. But I was a big fan of his work, which is crazy. And I think this is, like, I think the only Lance Cade figure that's out there. Kind of wish, like, they made one with, like, the short hair. But there it is there. I wasn't a fan of the team during the time, because obviously I was a kid. But I really enjoyed these. But one thing I didn't enjoy with the figure here is like look at, he's in his wrestling attire, but if you want him to wrestle and you take the jacket off, you have the jacket arms on him, and there's nothing you can do about it. That always irritated me so freaking much with the Jakks figures. But the suit ones, it was fine. But there it is right there. With this Lance Cade here, I do like that we do get the nice long brown hair going on, which does look pretty good. I also don't really see the likeness to him. I think they could have done a better job on the head sculpt here, but I do like the smirk that they do have on his face. And then, of course, he does have this black jacket going on with, like, roses all going on at the top, and even, like, on the sleeves as well, which also matches the tights that he is wearing as well. He's got the roses on the side there, nice black tights. And then he's got the red boots going on as well. But there it is, man. Lance Cade. Just sucks that you pretty much have to have his sleeves on when he wrestles. But pretty cool that we got a Lance Cade. I think a soft good definitely would have been a better solution for this. But Jax, they love the hard stuff. Our next figure we got, another Lucy. We got the classic superstar, Sabu, which I think looks so freaking cool. I actually do have this mint on card signed by Sabu, which is, I think, my only classic superstars that I have mint on card. That is a collection I am not trying to get myself into. I think I'm going to go after, like, ECW people, probably, with the classics, maybe. I don't know. But I just thought that this was really cool. I got a great deal at the classic on this. Of course, I really love, I think the likeness is definitely there for Sabu. He's got the long brown hair going on. He's also got the goatee. He's got the crazy face going on. And then I think the body, they definitely could have done a little bit better on. But he does have the scars on the abs, which is definitely accurate. Does look pretty cool. And he also has some, like, tape going on one arm, which is nice. And then we also get the soft good pants as well, which I think really, like, adds that extra layer to the Sabu. I love the gold pants that we do have here. Does look pretty good. And then we do get the nice white boots as well to go with it. And just a figure I saw, and I got a really good deal on it, so I just couldn't say no. Don't know where I'm going to display him. Probably with the Ruthless Aggressions, because he was a part of it during the WWE ECW. That technically counts. So there it is. We got Sabu, which the soft goods, like, I have like a love-hate for Jax, but man, I love me some Jack Pacifics. And finally, our last loose figure that we got at the Classic, we got a TNA Marvel Sting, which does need the jacket and the bat, but that's alright. Just trying to get the characters to complete the collection here. I have been a little slow on the TNA Marvels. I've been more getting back into the Jax slowly when it comes to Classic collecting, but there it is there. Which, man, TNA Marvels were so good for its time. Really enjoyed finding these at Toys R Us growing up. And that's pretty much it for Sting. I think that this is just really freaking cool. Excited to add him to the collection. I think this is a part of the TNA Lockdown two-pack set with Jeff Jarrett, I believe. Could be wrong, but there it is, man. We got the Icon Sting in TNA form, which is so freaking sick. So now, let's get into some of the autographed items that I got signed. So before we get into some of the signed figures that I got at the Wrestling Classic 4, I do want to give a huge shout out to both Zombie Hideout and Captain's Corner for putting on such an incredible event. I love being a part of it. My other YouTube channel, We Are Wrestling, we always have a table there. We're a proud partner, sponsor, and we have a great working relationship with both Captain and Zombie. So we do have to thank them for giving us this incredible opportunity. And we will be at the next one in November, which I'm sure I will be giving you guys more details this summer on it. So now let's get into some of the autographed figures, starting things off. One of my favorite current WWE guys who recently got released. I got the opportunity to meet him. We met Elias, baby. Which, man, I love this. I love the inscriptive that he did put on this figure here. This is a part of Elite 73, which I just love the way they have him posed in the box here, which does look good. And I do like how he put walk with and then he signed it as Elias. I thought that that was really freaking cool. And I've been a big fan of him going all the way back to, like, him doing the Drifters stuff back in NXT. I was a big fan of the character, the work, and I felt like he was just massively underrated. So I definitely needed to get a figure for my collection, because if I'm a fan of a wrestler, I'm going to go out of my way and I'm going to try to get that figure signed and get the opportunity to meet them. But really cool Elias figure. I might actually have to get another one of these loose, low-key. And that is not it for Elias figures, because I actually also ended up getting the Elite Series 60 signed as well, which he did the same thing, walk with Elias. And honestly, like, the more these, like, elite packagings, like, I'm getting more stuff signed mint on card WWE. I really like these boxes for the elites. I think these are probably my favorite ones. It's so simple. I just wish that they had uniform like AEW figures do, which is why I kind of go more out of my way for those, but a really cool Elias figure here, and I do love the blue paint marker. I think it really stands out on this. And we got 2 Elias figures signed that we are going to be adding to the wall. Very excited about that. Which is crazy. I took these, I have not even hung these figures up yet, which is wild. And our last figure that we got signed at this event, we met Eric Bischoff, which Ruthless Aggressions I do have mint on card, and I also do have loose. I have a really good Ruthless Aggression collection that's growing with signatures, which, man, Eric Bischoff, to have this, I am so happy. This one, I had to pay second market prices. I never saw this in my Walmart whatsoever. But so freaking cool. Like, the packaging here is just so friggin' nice. And I'm so mad that, like, this line ended. I felt like there was so much potential. There's definitely so many more wrestlers they could have put in this line. Especially now, like, having, like, the Dudley'S on a Legends deal. And probably the Hardys will be on a deal pretty soon, too. And Mark Henry, they could have done so much more. But there it is, man. Eric Bischoff is Raw GM. Really freaking sick. I don't even know why we never got, like, a Teddy Long. Because I would have loved to have a Teddy Long and Eric Bischoff, like, right together. But, man, this is one of my favorite figures that I do have signed. And I almost forgot, because I did hang this figure up on my wall. I also did get this signed here. The WWE Limited box Christy Heavy figure, which it was actually really cool. She was like telling me stories about the figure, how like it's very hard to find, which I did struggle to find it for a little bit. But there it is. Like, I have a really cool like wall going on here, which the rest of these I got done at the big event in New York, but I needed Christie's and we got it signed at the Wrestling Classic, which is pretty cool. And I'm really liking the way that this is coming out. So now moving on to our next figure we got here, which, oh man, I found these for a really good deal at this table, and I'm not going to be keeping them in the package, but we got a WWF Ringside Collection Sunny figure, which I know she's very controversial right now with all the stuff she's doing, but I do have a bone crunching collection, and I pretty much have like almost all the women wrestlers except for Sunny. So I decided to pick her up, which we are going to be ripping wide open, because even if I wanted to get this signed, she's in jail. She's not going to be able to sign it for me. Unless I go visit her, which I'm not doing that. Get her a bag of fucking Doritos and she'll give me a fucking signatured figure. Alrighty. Which, here it is. Which, I never had the Sunny figure growing up. So there it is right there. Nice and very, like, accurate looking figure here. Which I really do like a lot. I felt like the women, like, all the managers were so weird, because, like, you can't really move them much. Which I can understand, like, you don't wrestle, the managers don't really wrestle, but I thought the Sunny was a pretty cool pickup here. My only Sunny for the collection. I'm not getting the Classic Superstars one. Don't really need it. And, yeah, we're going to add her to the Bone Crunching collection. But moving on now to our last figure that we are going to show you guys. Which, man, I paid some good money for this one, which I will be opening up, and I will give you guys the reason why. We got the WWF Tag Team Bone Crunching Action Legion of Doom. These figures are impossible to find with the spikes, and I just, like, I want Legion of Doom with my spikes on, and I'm not going on ringside and getting, like, whatever, those bell-to-bell exclusives. I want the real thing for the collection. And I saw this and I knew it was figure fate, because for the bone crunching collection, Legion of Doom was actually like one of the top 5 that I really wanted to get for my collection. And there it is right there, looking really freaking cool here. It's very hard to find with the spikes. But we got him, baby. Yes, we did. We got him. Gotta do it, you gotta do. There it is right there. We got good old Animal there, which, oh man, these look so freaking sick. Which I do have the elite ones for Mattel. But for the Bone Crunchers, this is going to go right in the front. This is absolutely awesome. And the cool thing about it is, like, during its time, the fact that you're able to take off the spikes on the figure is just so friggin' awesome. Because around that time back in the day, like, glasses and things like that would just be on the figure. And, like, you would have to find a way to, like, take it off and like take the chance of damaging it. But Animal, I just love that. That is sick. And of course, we also got his tag partner. We got Hawk, which looks so freaking cool too. Man. Love Legion of Doom. They're one of my all-time favorite tag teams. Which it's so unfortunate, like Animal and Hawk both passing away, especially Hawk being so young. Because I would have loved to have the opportunity to, like, meet both of them. And, like, man, I'm so happy I got to meet Animal at least. But it would have been so cool to meet Hawk. But there it is right there. We got the bone-crunching Legion of Doom. And the only place that I found this was at the Wrestling Classic in Springfield, Mass. So friggin' awesome. And finally, the last thing I'm going to show you guys in this haul. I can't believe I bought these. And Devon had a table, and I love Devon. Me and him, we talk at a lot of wrestling conventions. We shoot the shit a lot. I even sponsored both his sons' tag match at a Blitzkrieg show for We Are Wrestling. And me and Devon were pretty cool. He tunes into the podcast. He's given us shout outs, and we just have a great friendship. And man, when I saw that he was selling these, I gave him a price and we made a deal. So here it is right here. I got Devon Dudley's worn glasses, and this was back in 2016 with the Wyatt family. He wore these on television, which is so freaking cool. And I also do have like his signature right there. We got Devon Dudley 3D. And then on this side here, let's see. I also had him add the inscriptive as well, which does say Wyatt Family 2016, which I think is so freaking cool. So now I'm probably going to like find like a picture and like make something and display the glasses with it, because I think this is just such a cool item. Devon is such a nice guy, and man, I love catching up with him at all these wrestling conventions that I go to. And the fact that I have possession of these glasses that this man wore feuding with the Wyatt family, I think is so fucking awesome. This is definitely the grail piece that I got at this event. And Devon gave me a great deal. Fucking love Devon. Oh, my brother, testify. But to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, if you're in the Western Mass area, I highly recommend coming out to a future wrestling classic. There will be one in November this year. And as of right now, they've announced Shelton Benjamin. And I know there's going to be more names to be announced within the next, probably within the whole rest of the summer and fall. So guys, if you're in the area, highly recommend coming out, because it's just such a great vibe. We Are Wrestling. We'll be having a table with hats, shirts, merchandise. I'll even be selling some figures in my own collection. But let me know in the comment section below your favorite thing that I picked up at the Wrestling Classic. If you guys enjoyed this haul and you guys want more videos like this, make sure to smash that like button now. I apologize for being 3 months late to this. I'm going to try to stay on top of my content moving forward. If you're not a best one yet already, subscribe, turn on the post notifications. New videos are coming out every other day. Links down in the description below. You can go follow me over on my social medias and other YouTube pages. All that down below. And of course, to all the best ones out there worldwide, we are taking over. Peace.